All right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we're going, buddy.
All right.
We're going. I got Ibai Canales with me today. Okay? We're from northern Spain in the Basque region, people. Ibai, the man, the myth, the legend. He's a world traveler. He just got back from traveling all across the world. He's an artist, a writer, a filmmaker, a martial artist, kickboxer. Ibai, welcome.
Thank you. It's a massive pleasure to be here with you today.
Now, I am super excited to have you with me today and to talk about creativity. And let me just go ahead and tell the folks how I discovered you. And I was just on X, right? So you're over there in Europe and you're doing your thing, and I'm over here in America doing my thing. So how the hell do I, find my bro over there in Europe doing his thing? Well, I found you on X, of course, and then I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And then we started just joking back and forth, and then I'm like, oh, okay, we have the same ideas. I like it. He's an artist too, and I like his artwork, and that's fantastic. And then you started doing these cartoons, and I was like, bro, these cartoons are awesome. And I had to be like, okay, I gotta talk to this guy because I love cartoons too, and of course, you do all kinds of other stuff, but it takes a special kind of mind to be able to make a cartoon that really captures the essence of something just in like two panels or one panel. So how'd you get started doing those cartoons?
Oh man, I've been drawing stuff that I either found really funny or really infuriating since I was a kid. And I was brought up. I grew up reading this Spanish humor magazine called El Jueves, which means the Thursday, because it came out on Wednesday. Just that's how we do things in Spain. And it would feature like this really biting satire about everything: the politicians, the arts, the
Yes.
movies. It was great. It was like mad, that if everyone on Mad was like high on crack and methadone, that's
Yes.
grungy late 80s Euro trash. It's like, Mad magazine made by the guys from Trainspotting. So I grew up on that stuff. And I remember
And so,
go
yeah,
on.
it
Yeah.
is that when you first realized that you're a creative person and you got to do this, or when did you first realize that?
Probably. I remember I always drew, right? I was in grade school, as you Americans would call it, and I would always draw. I would always like to draw, and I would always like to replicate what I saw in movies and cartoons and whatnot. So I was always like a visual, like an artistic person, you could say. And
Yeah.
it's all my dad's fault. He grew up in Brussels. He was a
Dad
Spanish.
W. That's what I'm talking about.
My dad is awesome. One day I'll tell you about him. He grew up in Brussels. It's also complicated along, so I hope you have time. Uh,
That sounds fantastic.
all right, all right, all right.
All
Well,
right, keep going. I want to know about the food, but keep going
all
with
right,
your
all right,
story.
all right. So this guy, my dad, grew up in Brussels. Brussels is like the European capital of comic books. So he
Oh,
read a
wow.
lot of
Okay.
comic books, and he came back to Spain with my mom after they married, and he would always reward me with a comic book. And sometimes it was like a Marvel thing. Sometimes I remember I really liked Transformers. So my parents would buy
Yeah.
me Transformers books all the time. And when I got older, and I mean like 12 maybe, he started to bring home El Jueves, this satirical magazine with like feature drugs and sex and rock and roll. So uh,
Yes.
make of that what you will. I guess you could say my dad was responsible for corrupting me. And that's what I guess, yeah, thanks to my dad's comics, that's when I realized, yeah, I want to do this stuff. I like this shit. Anyone can do this, right? Anyone can like grab a piece of paper and a pen and draw something that's going on through their mind. So yeah, that's basically it.
So then you got influenced by those comics, and then you just started drawing like in a sketchbook or all kinds of things, or anywhere you could do, or how?
Yeah, just basically would draw anything anywhere. If my school textbooks are probably something that should be in a Vatican vault or something, because they're like
Of
full.
course.
Yes, they're full of the most blasphemous stuff that a teenager could think of. So yeah, I would just anything,
Fantastic.
anywhere. Draw my class table, would draw napkins, My dad also bought me a really old one of his rotring cases, rotring. I think it's called the rotring college set, and
Oh, okay.
they became,
Like to
yeah, they're like I don't know if you're familiar with rotrings. They're like old school technical pens that
oh, okay, yes.
they're like kind of like a pilot, are like but like flimsier, and they need more care. And my dad was kind of a dick and never told me. He just gave me a bunch of rotrings, and I'm just doing them. And they're basically like an artist's sniper rifles, right? You gotta know how to take care of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
anything, but okay. So
And
that's
you got all into it, right?
I was like, wow, these are
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
professional drawing tools. I'm gonna become an artist. I'm gonna like do stuff.
Tools.
Yeah, that was my first like the first time I realized, yeah, I can be a professional. I can like use professional tools and you like use like professional techniques and tools. And I want to be one of those guys that I admire from the comic books, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then you get going. When's the first time you got like a third party validation? Like somebody in the industry or something like that said, "Hey, you're pretty good," or "Hey, I want to pay you to do something." Do you remember?
Uh, my first time, I remember winning a local competition when I was, I think, 14 years old.
Okay.
Uh, and I was like really influenced by like grungy British comics like Lobo and all that stuff, and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Edge, and
Do you remember what you drew?
yeah, I drew up like a four-page story about a oh, I was so politically correct back then. This my Arab migrant guy who gets brutalized by a gang of skinheads. They throw into the we have a river, right? We have like basically used to be a radioactive river that ran across the town I live in. It's called La Ria. It's
Yeah.
like the debris from all the steel mills and chemical plants and whatnot go there. So it stands to reason that if you throw someone there, it will come back as a huge, hideous mutant and
Yeah.
exact revenge on the people.
Mutant, of course.
So
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
basically
that's one
true.
plus one is two. Obvious.
It stands to reason, Your Honor. It stands to reason. So yeah, that was a four-page comic book, and I got 10,000 pesetas. I guess those are like uh, $60. I don't remember. I guess you could say I got $60 as a prize as the best local author in a local competition. So that was the first time,
And how did you feel? Were you like, "Oh hell yeah," or were you like, "Oh wow, I guess I am good"?
Yeah, and incidentally, when I was they exposed the comics that won. They had like this municipal hall, and they would like hang there the original pages, and I wanted to check them out because I wanted to see who was at one's prizes and whatnot. And I got approached by two guys who had a fanzine. You guys remember fanzines? Fanzines were a thing.
I don't remember fanzine. What's a fanzine?
Fanzine is like a magazine done by fans. It's
Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
like you get together with your friends and draw shit and
yeah,
find
yeah, yeah.
like a copy machine somewhere and just like take copies of it and like probably give it for free to your parents and your college friends and whatnot. So I got approached by these two guys, and they asked me if I wanted to draw a story for the fanzines, which I did. So I got the topic
Fantastic.
validated in the same day.
So the boom, 14, you're off and running right there.
Mhm.
You're already starting to get like trained in your mind to do professional work. And then what was the next big job that came your way where you were like, boom, I'm a pro. What's up? Because
Uh,
I know that you've done a couple of other comics, like you did Iron Sight, you did Testament, the Abductables. But what was like the one of the first ones where you were like, I feel established or I'm making my way?
I don't think it was after probably over a decade after that because there wasn't really a comic book industry in Spain. There was like an attempt, but nothing was really making money. So I just focused on my other passion, which is movies. And I went to
Okay.
I went to art school, and I hang out with like the movie crowd. And apparently
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm pretty good. I guess I was okay at making short films, and people like me. But I realized that I didn't really like the whole social aspect of making movies because you gotta be a good, let's say, manipulator. You gotta know how to
Right, right, right.
push people around, how to negotiate
A
with the actors.
politician.
Yeah, it's like I'm not like that. I just want to be left alone. Want to be
So
inside.
then, so you went to you went to art school and you studied how to make movies.
Hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep. And then I
And
regretted
then
it
you
when I
had a
went back
really
to
good
comic
time.
books. I regretted movies and I went
Yeah,
back to
well,
comic books.
they're very similar. They're very similar, and like I think that's a big deal. Why comic books are never going to go away because they're the storyboards to build up to visual movies or TV shows or
Mhm.
whatever, animations or whatever. I've always said, you can't make a blockbuster movie by yourself, but you can make a blockbuster comic.
Yes.
You can make a comic that blows up. So then you go into the movies and you're making a couple of movies and you have some good experiences, or did you have were they all bad? Did you have any good experiences?
I had some good experiences, but they were overwhelmingly bad. There was a lot
Yeah.
of ego involved and lots of you gotta kiss a lot of ass. Even when we were making movies, we knew that we had to kiss a lot of ass if we wanted our short films to be featured in like the official government competition category, whatever. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm going back to comic books. I still have some friends in the movie industry. It's like really cool people, I'm only friends with cool people. Everyone else can go fuck themselves.
Of course. I mean, yeah.
Is it okay if I swear? Because I swear a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, no, no. We're all about that over here.
I,
We're about like do whatever you want, be authentic. That's what
ah,
I want.
because
You don't have to
Basque
don't
people
censor
swear.
yourself.
Because
Hey,
Basque people swear a lot. Let me tell you.
if you make great food, you have to swear. It's the spice. It's the spice of life. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that geniuses do,
So,
isn't it?
well, I think you don't want to be bounded. You don't want to be bounded by irrational constraints. That I think we look at it like I don't know if I would say I'm a genius. I would hope so, but maybe not. But
You probably
it'd be
are.
fun to think, right? Right? Of course. But you look at everything like it's a tool. It's a different paint, right? And even words, swear words are the reds, and then the other words are the blues, the blacks, the oranges.
Mhm.
So don't be constrained and oh my god, don't say that. No, I don't believe that. Fuck that shit. But okay, so you're in the movies, you make some movies, you have some bad experiences because it's political,
Mhm. Yeah,
and I
that's
can
that's
tell
one of many reasons. Not just that, but that's one of
you're
many.
more of a you're more of a meritocracy guy, right? You want
Yes.
to be established based upon your own
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
So then you come back to comics. And what made you make that decision? Was it over a long period of time, or you just thought, oh, you know what, I have an idea, I want to explore more in the comic book form? How'd that go?
Well, I never really stopped doing comics because, as I said, it's like a compulsive thing for me. I'm always doodling stuff on like my
Right.
textbooks or my sketchbooks or whatever. And during one of my trips that I still do with my parents to the US because they're the ones who travel a lot. Actually, I'm just tagging along for the
Okay.
ride. I remember we went to the US once. I bought one of my Transformers comics, and in the back of one of these comics, I saw that they were actually publishing one page drawn by fans. Like anyone could draw a
Very
page,
cool.
send it there, and have it published. So I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is really cool. I don't know, it's a chance for me to put my work out there. So I'm gonna draw a page, gonna mail it to these guys, and that I actually
See what
succeeded.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened, and then I actually did that several times. I got contacted by some people in the Transformers fan community who asked me to like draw fan comics for them, and it was a pretty cool experience. Almost made zero money off of it, but it was like really cool. I got to read some really
Of
interesting.
course. That's always the way it is.
That's the life of the
Whenever you
artist.
need the money, it's not there.
That's
Whenever
the
you
life of the
don't need
artist.
the money, they want to give you 1 million.
Yep, that's basically it. So one thing led to another, and oh yeah, I remember I was really pumped by the success, and I was like, "Whoa, maybe I can draw a short story and have it published." And I did that. I wrote and drew a short story about an evil corporation who purposefully spreads viruses on society so they can come up with a vaccine and get filthy rich. What a crazy idea, right?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I keep saying, man, I'm the Jules
You
Verne.
were ahead of your time.
This was 2011, man. This was 2011.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that got published in Heavy Metal Magazine of all places.
Holy shit, that's big. That's
Yes.
big.
Yes. I
So
yeah,
you're like fuck. You're like fuck yeah. Let's go.
but yeah, I'm sandwiched in between Pat Mills and Olivier Ledroit, which are like two of my favorite creators. And I think Simon Beasley. So you can imagine the size of my ego back in those days.
Oh yeah,
Like my head was bigger than the
that's
phone.
incredible.
Of course, I didn't get paid. I'm still waiting for my check.
You're still
Yeah.
waiting for your check.
I'm still waiting to get paid by Heavy Metal Magazine, but I got a comic book on Heavy Metal Magazine, and I'm still pretty proud of it.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, they're like the checks in the mail. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. And you're
They've
like,
been
okay,
telling me that for
we'll see. We'll
20
see.
years now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then, when was the first time you made your first full comic book? How'd that go?
My first comic book happened, yeah, not long after that. I wrote and drew a one shot of a character that was basically a cross between John Constantine and Lobo. It was like a space bounty
Okay,
hunter who smoked a lot and swore a lot, and got always mixed up in
the
like
best guys. Yeah,
yeah, it's like it's like a space occult detective. It's like this
yeah, yeah.
archetypal character who I also wrote into some like short stories that I had written before, so it was like a recurring character. And I wrote and drew a 24-page one shot, sent it to several publishers because I said, hey, if Heavy Metal Magazine has published my work, that means my work is
Yeah, of course.
publishable, right? So I sent it
Yeah.
to several publishers. Everybody rejected it. So I went back to being an indie and to looking for work on the.
that popped. That popped the ego just like that. You're like, what the
Oh my
fuck?
God. Oh, okay. I guess I'll go back to the message boards and look for a job there. Okay, bye.
Yeah, damn, that sucks, bro. That sucks. So then you get rejected. You have a hard time because I know that that did not taste good at all. So how did you end up getting it published then after that? What was that?
Well, I never published that story. That story actually, I got into web comics. I got contacted
So
by
do
a
you
guy.
do you, are you always writing? Are you basically always
Yes,
writing different stories in your
I'm
mind and
always,
stuff like that? That
I'm always expelling something from my mind in one way or another. I'm like, I just wrote a short story and sent it to a short story competition. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let you guys know. I wrote movie
yeah.
scripts for like my movie friends because I didn't want to direct. I didn't want to like be involved in the whole shooting things and having to interact with
Hmm.
people. But I could write this movie script, send it to my friends, and let them direct it. So I had like 2 3 movie scripts floating around on the internet, a ton of like short movie scripts still to my friends from my college days who I still am in contact with. And yeah, while I was doing all these things, I was contacted by a guy, Sal, from New Jersey. Of course, they're always Americans. I don't know why. Spaniards rarely offer me jobs. I think it's better that way.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Is there a big market for Spanish comic books or no? Or how
There
is
is a
that?
market. There is a market for Spanish creators. Because I've been saying for a while that Marvel, for example, for a few years ran almost exclusively on British writers and Spanish artists. Like stuff like,
Okay.
I don't know, Grant Morrison and Salva Roca and all these guys. And there was a lot of Spanish artists. Like Spain has a lot of artistic potential. It used to be a comic book superpower back until probably the 80s, something like that. We have like some of the best names in business. There is a market for the artists, but there isn't a market in Spain. We don't have the infrastructure.
Ah.
We tend to like, I think it was
So
Winston Churchill who said, Spain is going to become a great country the moment it starts trying to self destruct. And that's completely true.
so where is the Spanish market then if it's not in Spain?
Oh, no, no, it's not.
And do they consider you Spanish or are you Basque or is there a separation
Oh,
or are they same thing?
that's complicated.
Is that a hard question?
It's the,
Okay,
I
wait.
mean,
First,
I'm
where
telling
is
you,
this? Where's this? Where's the Spanish market? If it's not in Spain, where is it? Like
it's,
Mexico or
it's in the US and France and Belgium.
in the U.S.?
The US
Okay,
and
okay,
also the French Belgium market, like guys like Black Sat, available Black Sat, anthropomorphic
okay,
detective cat guy. It's made like by a
okay.
Spanish Disney animator that became a comic book artist later on. It's written by a Canales, not me. It's another Canales, Diez Canales. But there's I know personally a ton of like really good Spanish artists that are working for French. publishers and American publishers. There's nothing in
Okay.
Spain. If you work in Spain, you work for the government, you're going to be drawing anti-drug and anti-domestic violence PSAs for the rest of your life.
Yeah, just propaganda.
Yeah,
So, do they not consider the Basque people Spanish, or do they consider them Spanish? Like, because
it's like
you said for Spanish artists, and so I made me think: do they not consider you a Spanish
uh,
artist, or now I'm confused?
that's kind of like asking a Scotsman if they're British. It's basically the
Oh, I
same
got you.
thing.
Okay.
So the Basque, like the all the northern region of Spain has this like independent separatist thing going on. Like we're not really Spanish, we're our own people, and to some degree that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a complicated question.
Yeah, sure. It is what it is. So there might be a little discrepancy when they're looking upon you as like, hey, let's let this guy into the market, or let's not let this guy into the
Oh,
market. There's a little
there's a
political
lot of really good
political
artists.
tension there.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I guess you could say that. Back in the day, I remember, as I said, like up until the 90s, I think for some reason most of the really good artists were from Catalonia, from the Barcelona region. That's where they hailed from for some reason. I don't know why. I guess all the publishers were there. It's like Barcelona used to be like the Portland of Spain. All the comic book publishers were there. So if you lived in
That's
Barcelona,
what I was going to ask is if you want to publish, would you have to go somewhere specifically like a Barcelona or
I guess back in the day you would have to. I know there's people who mail their pages, but there were we used to have like places where people went to work, like like Marble used to be like an office
yeah,
building. You had to go into
like an
like
office, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You have to like check in, check out, and we used to have that. So probably yeah, if I had been a pro in the 80s, I would probably have to do that. Yeah, move to Barcelona.
Now, I know you're in Europe. Is it difficult since there's so many languages? Are there a lot of different stories in different languages? And have you had an experience like this is just my thought. Like over here in America, it's basically, English or Spanish, but mostly English. But over where you're at in Europe, there's tons of languages. So does anybody with any language like German or whatever, French or whatever, approach you to say, "Hey, can you do this comic book?" And then how would you do that? Or have you had experience with that?
Well, I've been approached. Well, I was doing Transformers comics. I think that was like my most international experience because I was first approached by an Italian guy, and then I worked with like Belgian people and British people and
Wow.
some Germans too. Uh, yeah, there were people from like everybody, but everybody speaks English here, so it's not really that hard. It's English is like
Okay.
Galactic Imperial Basic or whatever.
Yeah, we're the stormtroopers, basically, right?
Basically, the Evil Empire.
From yeah. So how was that experience? Was that a good experience? Because I'm thinking Transformers. That's a
Yeah,
huge property. That's like
man,
that's like a big.
if I had gotten paid for it, that would have been my,
They
my
didn't pay you?
it would have no, because it were fan comics. And actually, the guy organizing this movement, Franco, is a great guy. Nothing, not related to the Spanish dictator. Two different people. Uh, Franco, cheers, buddy. Franco actually offered to
And
pay
we
me.
but we like him too, right? Or no?
Like,
I'm just kidding. Go on. I'm just teasing.
it's like, how
He's
you
great. That's that.
uh,
That's that
yeah,
politics, right?
I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm getting increasingly retarded on this stream. Wait, let me. What I
No,
was
it's
saying.
okay. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
This is
So
the
yeah,
short train. Don't worry.
this is a short bus, more like. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I had this friend of mine, Franco, the Italian guy who organized this fan comic thing, actually offered to pay me a few times, but I told him, look, man, if you're gonna pay me, you have to pay the rest of the artists, and that's not fair. So I'd rather not get paid. Because I was already working
Okay.
as a kickboxing coach at a gym. So it's like
Sure.
I'm still making money off the gym. I don't need the money right now. That's fine. I'll just look at it as a learning experience and as a networking experience. I'll draw a page every now and then and just meet people, have fun. And if I had gotten paid, that would have been awesome because it was awesome without
That
the
would have been
money.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really had a great time.
Did they publish that comic, or did they just
Yeah,
post it
yeah. It's
online, or how'd that go?
it's on Deviant. There's tons of comics that I drew. It's on DeviantArt. Does anybody remember DeviantArt?
Okay.
They're on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I remember DeviantArt.
They're under the profile Seeds of Deception.
No, send me the link after this. I'll put all the links
Right.
down in the description. And if and anything you want people to go look at, I'm gonna put it in the description so they can look at it and talk about the Ibai Canales,
El Bast-
and all that good stuff. That's right. So then you got into have you always been a kickboxer or like because of course I'm like interested in that because I used to do jujitsu a lot. So I'm like, fellow martial artist guy. Have you always been a kickboxer?
Not really. I was always a fat nerd. And there's a saying. Well, I'm still a fat nerd to some degree, but there's a saying in Spanish. In the house of the blacksmith, spoons are made of wood. En casa del herrero,
Okay, now
cuchara
say
de
it in
palo.
Spanish.
That's a saying in Spanish, which is
Say it again.
my in the house of the blacksmith, the spoons are made of
No,
wood.
no, say it in Spanish.
En casa del herrero, cuchara de palo.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Casa del herrero, cuchara de palo. Which means my dad was a kickboxer. It's one of the things that he learned when he was in Brussels. He's actually,
Okay.
if I might say so myself, he's kickboxing royalty because he got trained
Oh wow.
by Kenji Kurosaki, who was like the Japanese guy who basically created modern kickboxing after he got his ass handed to him by
Wow.
Thai boxers. So,
Wow. Yeah.
he was this Japanese guy was a
Yeah.
karate practitioner. He got his ass handed to him by a Thai boxer, and he said, "We're gonna learn how to
Is that
box."
what that story? Is that what Kickboxer was based on with Van Damme? I don't know if
No,
you
that
remember
was that
that
was
that
that was
movie.
based on some crazy dude who will never stop spinning bullshit about his martial arts prowess, Frank Dukes.
Yeah.
But
But I do know that Bass Rutten is the real deal, right?
yes, Bas
He
Rutten is
doesn't
the
he
real
come
deal.
from Brussels and
Yeah,
he was a kickboxer.
yeah. There was
Yeah.
it comes from the
So you're
same. It comes from the same. Like there was this environment in like late 60s to late 70s Brussels, the Netherlands. They were heavily into kickboxing and like full contact karate. And actually,
wow.
Amsterdam has one of the best kickboxing gyms in probably the world. And Dutch kickboxing is a style.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's where my
And so
dad
your
went.
dad your dad trained with royalty and then did he keep it up his whole life?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
know.
he
He
still
opened.
doing
He
it?
actually opened his own gym here in Spain. He opened the first kickboxing gym in Spain back in
Wow.
1980.
That that's royalty.
Told you my dad was a super interesting guy.
And then so then when did you get involved in it?
I was a teenager and I was never into kickboxing because, as I said, I was a nerd and I was only interested in
Mhm.
comic books and like action figures and whatnot. And I was in high school, and one of my friends, I was like into weightlifting and taekwondo and stuff. And he told me, "Hey, your dad has a gym, right? Mind if I go there and pay him a visit?" And I was like, "Nah, just drop by and talk to him." And my mom told me, "Hey, your friend's gonna come and you're not gonna come? Like you fucking
Yeah,
pussy."
yeah.
All right. All right. I'll go with a friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
good mom.
yeah, that's my mom for you. And yeah, I went with this friend to my dad's gym. I had no idea what I was doing, but I became hooked immediately. I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess it's something in my blood. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is really cool. Like I'm getting my ass kicked regularly because back in the day, we're talking about like 1996, was still like a lot of people fresh from like full contact karate. They didn't give a fuck. They would beat the shit out of you with like a 15-year-old kid. They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"This is so obvious,
Wow.
bitch." Just send you home
Yeah,
like
yeah.
two guys. And I was like, I felt good. It was like Fight Club, the whole
Yeah, yeah,
after the
yeah.
fight is done, nothing has been solved, but nothing matters. Only the fight matters. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel really good. Like, that was cool. I wanna come back tomorrow.
Yeah, and it felt good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think it's a guy thing.
Now, how did do you think that that impacted your art?
I've been told that I'm pretty good at drawing fights because
At fights?
that's something that I never liked about American comics. You like superhero comics. The fights are like they just want the picture to look cool. So they will like, I don't know, draw Spider-Man with like one leg folded weirdly under its butt and like,
Yeah, like a ballerina.
it's not a real kick. It just looks cool on paper, but
Yeah.
that it doesn't have like a practical application. So I
Yeah.
used my knowledge of like actual fights. Like, yeah, he's gonna hit him this way. He's gonna hit him like with his knuckles on like the lower jaw, is gonna like knee him in the balls, whatever. Like, so that's what I think. That's how it influenced my kickboxing training, influenced my art.
Yeah, and do you enjoy, like, because when we draw or write or whatever, you're solitary, right? And so do you find that going to do kickboxing is a good physical or social outlet that kind of balances you and
It is. It is. I've said many times that I recommend all the nerds that they do some kind of like team sport or combat sport even. Because yeah, it will, I'm pretty sure that if we had signed up all these fucking idiots in the mainstream industry to a MMA gym or something, a lot of problems would have been solved. Well, because
yeah,
the lack of testiculine, as we say in Spanish, ball juice in the pros, like the way they bend over to like feminists and corporate pressure or whatnot,
yeah,
instead of saying, "No, motherfucker, this is my culture, this is my world. You're not
yeah,
changing it. I'm gonna defend it to my
yeah, yeah,
last
yeah, yeah,
breath." That's something that I wish there was more of in mainstream comics.
yeah, 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 yeah. A little more machismo, a little more
Yeah,
like
like
you know, yeah,
masculinity has been demonized for decades now. Actually, that's something that they talk about in Fight Club as well. Like
yeah,
basic masculine traits like defiance to authority and like independence and all that, they have been demonized for like decades. You have to be like this
yeah.
beta neurotic New York City Jewish guy who only thinks about brunches and bagels or whatnot. That's a problem in this society, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a feminization and a social
Yes.
engineering to reduce the masculinity and make it more acceptable to a wider market of like groupthink, which is really the feminization
Yes.
of society, really. And so, have you like we've seen that over here in America, and like I haven't been to Spain, but you've seen that in Spain as well. All throughout Europe, we see it. Is that true?
Oh yeah, no, that's actually a thing that we've been suffering from in the Basque Country since like forever. Because well, I'm sure you're aware that we had like 7 decades of like strong national socialist rule here with General Franco.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Basque Country and Catalonia specifically were always like leftist bastions against like the right wing. So cultural Marxism has been running. What I didn't know that it was called cultural Marxism. I know now that it was cultural Marxism. Has been running rampant in Basque Country. I think from long before it extended to the rest of the world, probably to the U.S. Because the stuff that you guys are seeing now in the U.S., like the feminization of men, the more matriarchal construction of society. Like they always say
Yeah.
that Basque people don't get laid. There was a joke that I was going to do earlier on. uh, you don't get laid in Basque country, and that's because they've
Okay.
been teaching men for like over, I don't know, 40 years now, that it's wrong to approach a woman. Like Me Too was a thing.
Oh.
Me Too was a thing here in Basque country long before it exploded in Hollywood. You are not supposed to
Wow.
approach women here. You're supposed to like sit on the corner of the bar with your drink and wait until magically some chick can read your mind and figure out how awesome you are. Just like walk up to you. That's how it works here.
Wow. Yeah, and women don't like that, man.
No,
Women want a guy to come and
no.
hit on them, man. They
I
want to be.
wish
Women want to feel beautiful.
Yes, I wish someone had explained that to me, like when I was a teenager,
How,
because
how, how did you how did you wake up? Like, what was it that like you were like, wait a minute?
uh,
Do you remember?
I think it was probably my mid 20s figure. I was in my mid 20s, and there was this chick I really liked, and she basically banged an asshole. And I was like,
Yeah,
it's
we've all had that
a
experience.
a
So
tale as
true.
old as time. And I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, I've been nice and compliant and polite, and I'm still here fucking choking the otter, or however the fuck you say it in English. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is all bullshit.
Yeah.
This is all like, and
Yeah.
that I realized, but that wasn't when I became an anti-feminist. That was later on. But that's when anti-feminist. I mean, like, I became red pill, so to speak. That was
Well,
the
the
first time I said,
ideology of it, not your. I
yeah, it's
got you.
like
Yeah.
that's when I realized, what society is telling me isn't true. Something's not
Right.
working here.
Yeah, it's true. I had a similar experience where you check all the boxes that they say that they want, and then they disappear. Then it doesn't happen the way you think. So you're like, okay, well, I fulfilled all the responsibilities. Where's the woman? But then she's off with somebody else who didn't fulfill any of the responsibilities. And I definitely found that to be true as well. And I learned that in my teenage years, and I was just like, I probably like you, I had a good relationship with my mother, so I thought, okay, well, you treat women like you treat your mother. You treat them very nice. You're transparent. You give them whatever they want. You listen to what they say and all this kind of stuff.
Was
But
I
then I
was
realized,
I was
you only have
famous.
one mother.
Yeah, that's what I told one of my ex-girlfriends once. But yeah, that's I was famous among my female friends for being the guy who is a really good listener. And they would always come up to me
Oh, that's
and
the worst.
yes, and cry about how their boyfriends were assholes. And like, I don't know, the first 75 times I was like, wow, that's really sad, you didn't know this. Like, I'm sorry about that. But like the 80th time, I was like, why did you just always bang assholes? Like, I'm here.
Right,
I have a fucking college degree. I have a job. I'm nice. No, I'm smiling and,
right.
and accommodating, and you are fucking banging someone who's like a rap sheet longer than my arm and tattoos on his face. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think that that definitely was a light bulb moment for me when I realized that women and men too, you can't argue with what you're attracted to.
Yes.
You can try to pretend with the social programming up here all you want to, and try to fit in with your friends. But when it comes down to are you going to go home with the nerd on the corner of the bar or the motorcycle rider? They're going to go with the motorcycle guy every time.
And it doesn't even have to have a, that's the saddest part. They don't even have to be alphas. They just have to pretend that they are. Because
Right.
I met this one guy, the only time I actually went to court over a street fight. Uh, this guy was an absolute pussy magnet just because of the way he acted. 'Cause he acted like really macho. He
Yeah.
had like this like a Batman tattoo on his bicep. He was like into, hey, I'm really like big Kiss fan, fucking heavy metal, bro. He was like this really fucking big macho metalhead guy. And he got into a fight once and he got his ass severely kicked by two guys, and I had to step in and try to separate. And I actually ended up sending these two guys to the hospital because, I am one of them. And this motherfucker was like, well, because we got sued, right? So we had to go to court. We had to go there, like wake up
Right.
early in the morning, dress well, and tell our version of the story. This little bitch didn't want to come. It was like, I'm really scared. What if I fuck up? What if they don't believe? Like,
Uh,
bro, you're supposed to be a fucking metalhead. What the fuck happened? I'm just some
yeah, what
nerd.
happened?
No, like he actually had to come
Yeah.
because otherwise he would be like sent to jail for like, how
Yeah.
they say that, like when you disobey the judge.
Straight to jail. Straight
Yeah.
to jail.
But I was shocked that this guy, he was like, he acted like an absolute fucking chad, and he was just a little bitch. So that's the saddest part. You
Yeah,
don't
well,
even have to be a fucking alpha.
that's the thing is that, you realize now that there are a bunch of theater kids who run around and basically act the part. They wear the costume, but then when it comes down to really, the metal meets the road, are you an alpha kind of guy? Are you going to withstand that stress? They crumble and they run and they fade. And then our society suffers for it. And then the women blame all men because they picked this guy who was pretending to be, an alpha. All an alpha is somebody who can handle stress.
Yeah, it's
A
not
guy
it's
who
not
has a
even it's not
plan.
even an act. Like you don't know if an
Right,
alpha
right.
is an alpha until shit goes down. Like I can think of my grandfather,
Exactly.
like my grandfather Canales the First, the Great. He's
The
still,
great. I love it.
yeah. There's like three generations of Canales. My grandfather is Canales the First, the Great. My father is Canales the Second, the Strong, and I'm Canales the Third, the Beautiful, of course.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Man, how come I don't got none of that? What the hell?
I don't know, man. Just I don't know.
That's
Tattoo on your
great.
back. I don't know. That's how we view things. So my grandfather, God rest his soul, was like the nicest, quietest guy around. He was a country boy. He grew up in a Spanish village in like 1930s. He was an absolute fucking badass. Like, there was this
Okay.
this one time he was like the village handyman. He would like work fixing stuff for like the local folk. and he fixed the town doctor's roof one day. He like, fixed the tiles, and I don't know what happened. The doctor wouldn't pay. Like the doctor didn't want to
Oof.
pay him the accorded, the accorded amount of money. So my grandfather just
Bro, how
paid.
come nobody wants to pay you guys?
That's a thing. I don't know. That's a thing that's going on with the
What is
Canadians.
that all
It's
about?
fucking.
Maybe you can be the Canales that gets paid. Canales the paid.
Actually, my dad is getting
Okay,
really well paid.
I'm
So
just teasing.
no,
I'm
that's you
just
get a
teasing.
point. I
Go
never
back to
thought
your
about
story.
that. No, you get a point. So yeah, my grandfather basically rammed the shotgun into his face and told him, "You either
Oh.
pay up or you're dead, motherfucker." And the doctor was like, "Tomas," 'cause his name was Tomas. Tomas, think what you're doing. You're gonna end up in jail. And my grandfather was like, "Yeah, I'll end up in jail. You end up the fucking graveyard if you won't pay up." That's
Yeah, yeah.
a fucking alpha. Like he was super quiet, super nice. But when shit went
Right.
down, you didn't fuck with that guy. That's what's an
Right,
alpha
right.
for me. It doesn't. It's not an act.
Yeah.
It's a thing you do
No.
when things need to be done. You know?
Right. It's a burden of responsibility.
Yes.
And a plan to execute your what you need to do to solve that problem or even create like you're an alpha because when they say, hey, Iban, can you get this deadline done by Friday, and you're like, boom, no problem, I'm gonna make it happen.
And I'm gonna do it because I gave you my word. And if I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. And if I can, I'm like, hey,
Right,
I'm
right,
I'm
right.
sorry, man. I'm like really swamped up. I can't like whatever. If I'm gonna do it, if I tell you I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. So that's how
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
raised. I guess I was raised by alpha. I'm not gonna say I'm an alpha myself because I'm just a nerd. But I was definitely
Right,
raised
right.
by alphas. So I've been told that
Yeah.
when you say something like a man's word has value. So if you gave someone your word, that means that counts for something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the truth, and that's awesome. You got like three generations. I don't know if you know about your grandfather. Were they like that, or do you know the history of your family? Or
I know that um, during the Spanish Civil War, I think I don't know if it was my grandfather's father or my maternal or I don't know, but one of them was like the leader of the anarchist cell of the village, and he got
wow.
he got executed and thrown into a well
Oh,
by the
oh
local
man,
nationalist militia. Yeah, that's a thing.
wow.
And the other one, I don't know, I don't know which one of them because I confuse I mix things up because I take a lot of punches to the head in my job. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other one was also died in a well-related incident because he was a well worker. Is a pofero. I don't know if that's a thing but like people who excavate wells and maintain wells.
Okay.
And while he
Now, is
was
there like a lot of well water?
yeah,
A lot
that's
of
I
well
mean
water in
we're
in
talking
your
about like
region,
early
primarily.
early 20th century Spain. It was still like not a
Oh
third
wow,
world country, but like a second world country.
wow.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fresh out. It was still basically a feudal country, still feudalistic. So
Wow.
there was a lot of need for like wells, for people to get actual water. So this guy was working on a well one day. Somehow he stepped on a rusty nail or something, and he got an
Holy
infection.
shit.
Yeah, and the doctor told him, "I'm sorry, but we have to cut your leg off, or you're gonna die." And he was
Oh
like,
man.
"Well, you know what? I guess I'll die because I don't want to live without my leg." And he fucking died.
Wow. And he died because he
He
stepped
died
on a
because
nail. That's crazy.
yeah, he got like a really bad infection, and he wouldn't have his leg cut off, so he's like chose to die.
So then you would definitely say that you guys, like we say here, you got a strong mind, a thick head, you
I
got a
am
really
yes,
strong disposition to do what you want.
yes, I'm extremely big-headed.
Yeah, yeah. And that brings us back to the cartoons that I first saw that you posted recently on X, and you were making some political cartoons, and man, some of them are hilarious.
Thank you.
And a couple of them went viral and really got some good traction, I saw, and I thought that was fantastic. But are you going to make more cartoons? Like you're so good at it. Like what? Tell me a little bit about that.
Thank you. Yes, I plan on doing more because they're apparently very successful, and I'm up to like 2,000 followers. And so I don't know, maybe at one point in the future I can actually monetize my profile and make some money off of drawing
Yeah,
comics.
make a
I don't
book or
know.
something. I mean,
Like
yeah,
that's I mean, people have told me that they like the idea of me drawing a
they're
wiki.
great.
Thank you.
I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. They're great.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So yeah, apparently they know
And
they have the words.
I'll try to throw some of your cartoons on the end of this when we talk here, so people can see them too, and maybe get a kick out of them. Some of them are really good, and I could definitely see you like doing something with them, like a book or something like that. That maybe you could crowdfund or whatever. It would be awesome. I definitely would back it and buy one
Thank you.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been suggested that idea as well. Like just the moment I have enough of them, like I can put them together in like a funny book or whatnot and crowdfund it. I think that's a good idea. So yeah, they're really
Yeah.
successful. So I plan on doing more. At least one per week.
Yeah. And I don't know, me personally, and I think a lot of other Americans aren't really that familiar with Spanish history or even the Spanish political system. Because a lot of us, it gets overshadowed by what England or whatever's going on in Germany or whatever, and so it's good for us to kind of, me especially. I mean, I'm not going to talk for everybody else, but I love hearing like what's going on in Spain. Well, what's going on in northern Spain? Well, what is the climate like? And then you said, hey, we went through Me Too, but 50 years ago. And so I'm like, holy shit, now I really need to pay attention to what's going on in Spain because that could be where we're being pulled right
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. Spain is absolutely is something that my parents have said too. Spain, sorry, seems to be like a testing ground for like
Oh,
new world order shit. I don't know why. Maybe it's because well,
yeah.
it's not really the only European country that's had like a long lasting dictatorship. I don't know why, but for some reason, like they try shit in Spain and then it like goes viral and to the rest of the world.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
Spain,
I,
they
I,
have,
I have,
go on, go on.
so I have noticed they do have different test grounds throughout the world for sure.
Yeah, China
The
seems to
World
be one
Economic
as well.
Forum and all of those guys. Oh yeah, China's a big one. I've been through China a couple of times. I've been through Taiwan, and just to see what they got going on over there is wild. And I've been through different parts of Europe, but never Spain. Of course, I'd love to go to Spain. Just haven't had the opportunity yet.
Hit me
But
up. I'll tell you
I think
something.
like oh no, if I come to Spain, I'm definitely coming to see you, and we're
Yeah.
gonna go get some good food. What's the good food over there? I know
Well,
Basque food is renowned.
if you come up, I'm not in the north right now. I'm in the Mediterranean because the weather sucks.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
the
I'm
weather
saying. The
sucks.
Mediterranean. That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm. If you come down here, it's gotta be paella. The rice, like the rice
Oh
and seafood
yeah.
and meat and all that. The typical Spanish dish. They really like it down here. We also do paella in the north, but up north, I think the typical Basque dish is gonna be either like fucking massive uh, plate of beans with chorizo and meat and ribs and whatnot. It's either that or a T-bone,
Mm-hmm.
like the Spanish T-bone, like the
Wow.
Basque steakhouses are really famous.
Oh wow. Now, do
Mm.
you do a lot of cooking, or do you
I
mostly
can
eat
I
out?
can cook,
How
but
is it over there?
yeah, well, actually, yes. Like Basques are known for like being good cooks. Like it's not just a female
Yeah.
thing. Like Basques are expected to cook, and I myself know how to cook. Not really that good. Like
Yeah.
luckily, I still rip off my parents regularly, so I don't have to like learn how to cook myself. But yeah,
Does your dad cook, or your mom, or
yes,
does your
yes. My,
mom cook,
my
or
my mom does most of the cooking, but my dad knows how to cook as well. Because again, he's like he was
man?
brought up in Belgium. Belgians are also like heavily into
Yeah.
cuisine. Like they really have really good
No,
food.
I am as well. I cook a lot, and I love cooking. And I got into cooking really because there was no good restaurants where I was, and I was like, hey, I got to get some good
Yeah,
food, so
that's
I just
that's
kept
that's the
going with it.
that's the one thing I really don't like about the US, even though I love the US and I like to go regularly. It's the food. Like it's really hard.
The food is
Like it's good, but it's not good for you. You know what I mean?
no. You're right. I every time I go to another country, the food is superior, and I come back to America, and Americans they don't seem to know this that they're in a bubble, and all the food in America is like is
Yeah.
steak and bread basically,
It's like
and when you go to
everything is
other
like
countries,
super processed and like everything is like it's
yeah,
not bad, but you can tell it's artificial. It's been like sweetened artificially. It's like you know, it's probably designed to make you addicted to food to some degree.
yeah. Well, there's the same flavor profile in all the food. All the food kind of tastes the
Yes.
same. And I've noticed that when you go to other countries, they have even the street vendors have they make it themselves right there, and it's fantastic, you know, and it's like a homemade meal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like you can walk into a bar here in Spain and get a home cooked meal because they have a cook
Wow,
in the kitchen. And often, more often than
wow.
not, like but not so much these days because they've all been replaced by South American migrants for some reason, just like in the US. But there's still
What
places.
they got there's South American migrants over there?
Yeah, yeah, like everybody from Mexico and Honduras and whatnot, they all come here because they speak the language.
I had no idea. I thought they only came to America. I didn't know
Oh,
they
no, no,
were
no.
also
They
went to
come they come
Spain.
here a lot. And for some reason in Spain, I think it's Mexicans. Mexicans basically rule the world of like hospitality, restaurants and pubs and bars and whatnot. They're like more often than not run by Mexicans and South Americans in general. I don't know why.
Yeah, they rule the the world here
It
too
it
in
is. I know. I
hospitality
know.
as
I noticed
well.
that as well. It's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same. Like when you go to a Spanish bar, to an American bar, it's the same. You're gonna get served by Mexicans.
Yeah, I went to a sushi restaurant the other day, and I went back to tip the sushi chef, and they were all Mexican. I was like, "What?"
But it used to be, still is in some places that you could walk into a Basque bar, Spanish bar maybe, and there would be like this old lady cooking, and it would be basically like your grandma's cooking. I want like a
Yeah.
steak with fries
Wow.
and some beans and like some noodle soup, and it would be like your grandma's cooking. So I think
Wow.
that's much healthier than the American model, in which like everything is like
Oh, 100%.
ultra processed.
Everything over here is becoming more and more processed, more and more processed, even more, even more. And does the Basque community or Spanish community, do you guys eat in restaurants a lot, or do you eat at home more? How
Uh,
does that go?
we have a culture of eating at the restaurants. It's what we call menu del día. Today's menu basically today's special, so to some degree. And yeah, you basically it's a bar. It's almost like a pub. You walk in and you have like a sheet of paper and tells you today's menu del día. You're like, I don't know, macaroni and salad and noodles or whatever. Because we eat like two dishes and a dessert, right? That's the Spanish way. It's not just one thing.
Uh,
It's,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you choose a starter and then a main course and then the dessert. And that's how. And you get that from like maybe $15, something like that.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
And so you say that a lot of them have bars. So is there like a big like beer or what kind of alcohol is like the big thing over there?
In Basque Country, it's mostly wine and beer.
Wine?
We're
Yeah,
into
wine.
wine, probably because we're
Wow,
like
okay.
really close to France.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, because we don't really have that here. We miss a lot of that
Yes.
culture in America. I mean, like our bars are, I'm sure like you come over from Basque and you come to America and you're like, okay, we're gonna go to a bar, and you go to the bar and you're like, hey, what is this?
I mean, yeah, well, you can go to an Irish pub and get like a I don't know fish fry or what's it called fish and chips. Yeah, you can get that. Or you
Yeah,
can get a cheeseburger and with a beer. That's fine. That's what I like to eat when I go there. That or
yeah, yeah.
1950s themed dinners. I fucking love. And if I could, I would only eat there. I love the 1950s themed dinners.
Now, where did you
Diners.
have some of that? Were you in a big city or when you came to visit
Yeah,
or?
last time when with my mom, we went to New York City first, then we went to Chicago,
Okay,
which is a great city too,
okay,
and then we went to
yeah, yeah.
Milwaukee because we wanted to see the Harley Davidson Museum. My mom is into bikes.
Oh,
My mom is a
oh,
biker
does she
chick.
like motorcycles?
Yeah, she's a biker chick.
That's fantastic. Does she have a motorcycle herself?
No, no, she's a bikeless biker chick.
Your
So,
dad's like, no, 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 no.
no, no, my dad doesn't even know how to drive because he lived his entire life in a big city, so he never really needed to learn how to drive. He always
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
bus or
So,
something.
how did your mom get all excited about motorcycles?
I don't know, man. She's always been like a super cool
One day
chick.
she just said, she saw the guy at the end of the bar that was riding a motorcycle, huh?
I think she's always been into bikers because from what she's told me, is one of his first boyfriends when she was like a teenager had like a bike. which is
Yeah.
it's freaking weird because she was into like surfer dudes with like blonde hair. Like I have to introduce her to you one of these days. And
Yeah, for
for
sure.
some reason, and bikers and stuff, and for some reason, she ended up with my dad, who's like curly dark hair and doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
He's like a really quiet,
Yeah.
reserved guy. So I don't know how, it's a woman's mind. So who knows how that works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
That's
she's
right.
always been like that. She's always like he was, bro. He was into Ozzy Osbourne and Led Zeppelin before I was born.
So you came to Chicago and New York. Is that the first time you had diner food, or have you had it
Oh
before?
no. I mean, I've been coming to New York City because we
For a
always
long
go to
time.
New York City and then we go somewhere else because we already know New York City. Like
Yeah.
we want to keep discovering the country because we really like the United States. We the people are awesome. We really like Americans. They're like super
Yeah.
nice, super welcoming. So we came to New York City. Well, the first time I was a kid, but the second time was the good one. I was in my 20s. I think it was like 26. And then my dad wanted to tag along because we started to visit this boxing gym in Brooklyn. We became friends with some of the guys there. So we would say, we'll go to New York City and then we will visit somewhere else. And we've gone to like Boston and Philadelphia and San Francisco, Austin. I need to hit up Lenore next time I'm in Austin. She
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
gave me a hard time for not letting her know. But yeah, like we're basically adoptive Americans now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, next time you're in Southern California, you got to let me know. I'll take you
We
guys
want
out
we
to
want to go
lunch or something.
to
You know what
San
I'm saying?
Diego for the Comic Con one of these years.
Yeah. 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 That's real. That's pretty close to where I am. And I'll show you guys a good diner. I know all the good diners in
Cool,
San Diego.
cool,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
And we don't. I don't have very many. There's some in LA that are really good. You know, the whole lockdown thing really put a lot of them out of business, though.
Oh no, it's
Unfortunately,
the
and
same
it was
here. It's the same thing. The town I live in, which is like well, Bilbao, which is the nearest biggest town, is like kind of like Boston. There's like a greater Bilbao area with like smaller towns are like attached to the big town, and a lot of those places have been like decimated by the lockdowns. It's the same. It's true for for the place where I live. This used to be like party center for this part of the
yeah,
country. Like everybody used to come here,
yeah,
like until like
yeah.
2020s. And thanks to the lockdowns, a lot of like the typical like the biggest, most famous bars and restaurants had to close down. So I basically live in a ghost town now.
Yeah, yeah. LA is a ghost town. San Francisco is a ghost town. I mean, San Francisco, bro. There's nobody there. Everything's closed up. San Diego is the same way. You know what I mean? Except for a little portion of it, and
Yeah,
it's
California
wild
really
to
had a hard
see.
time with lockdowns, right? Like they were really strict there.
They were very strict. In fact, I used to live down on the ocean, and because I surf all the time. And when the lockdowns happened, I was like, "Oh, I got to move," And so I moved to the inland, to the desert, and it's much more free here. Like I started making my own frames to with my paintings because I was in galleries, and I got in trouble because I was using power tools. Like I got in trouble from people around me that will come complain to me because I had power tools that I was using like a router and a saw. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So I moved out to the desert now. Nobody gives me any trouble. It's great, but there's no restaurants
I
out here.
remember
No.
feeling the drive to move to the desert or to somewhere desolate, so I wouldn't have to put up with like fucking COVIDian bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's kind of like what I did. And
Mm.
then of course that's terrible for like you said as artists, all the everything closed down, people stopped buying. So what do you do? So then that's why I said, hey, we got to figure out how to do this social media thing, and I got to reach out to my buddy out there all the way over in Spain, and I got to talk to him and all that kind of stuff, and I got to meet new friends around the world and kind of make new connections to start to make a better network that could be more robust, especially when they try to destroy you with the economy, because that's exactly what they did.
No,
And
they're trying to
ha,
in Spain. In Spain, they're actually trying to revert us back to pre-Franco days when we were like a more feudalistic society. Because
yeah,
say what you want about Franco, at least he created a middle class. There wasn't a middle class in
yeah,
Spain until he came along and started like public schools and it was a pretty socialist guy. He was national socialist, but he was socialist. And
yeah,
they're destroying that now. Like It's like people can't afford houses, they can't afford cars,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm
And
particularly
are they
poor.
trying to make every are they trying to make all the cars over there electric as well? Because that's kind of what they're trying to do here as well.
There's been a push for that. I don't know what happened. There's like power stations everywhere for electric cars here. But what they
Oh.
have done, it's something that they also did in like in London. They've made like the downtown areas of all the major cities, they've made them no cars allowed. You can only walk there,
Ah,
like ride a scooter or a bike,
yes.
whatever. You can like drive your car there.
Yeah, they're starting to do that here in the big cities as well. Like they're blocking streets off and trying to put a plant in the middle of the street
Yeah,
and say it's for people to walk on, and but it destroys all the businesses.
yeah. No, that's
It's
something
on
that
purpose.
that's something that the cab driver told my mom and I when we were in London. When they did that to downtown London, they actually hurt a lot of pubs and restaurants because the cab drivers used to stay
Yes.
there, like park there and eat there. And they can't
Yes.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of those places, their economy depended on the cab drivers.
Yes, and they're replacing a lot of the domestic cab drivers with international people who move in
Yep.
that will bring their own food with them to work instead of putting it back into the economy. And then they keep
Everything,
taking that money out of the economy.
everything is gonna be like mixed and diverse. And ironically, everything is gonna be the same everywhere.
Yeah,
Everything is going to have the
yeah,
same diverse multicultural culture everywhere, and that's something that I've noticed from European cities. It used to be Brussels and Paris and Madrid and Amsterdam would have like their own different
vibes.
specific, yeah, feeling, vibe, flavor. Everywhere feels the same
Yeah,
now. It's all kebabs
yeah,
and fast food
yeah.
restaurants.
Kebabs are everywhere. Yes, kebabs and hair cutters. People
Yeah,
to
it's
cut your hair.
it's
Everywhere.
Middle Eastern barbers somewhere everywhere. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know. It's got to be something else. They got to be like a front for immigrants or something like that,
there's
or
something
money
going on.
laundering or
Something going on.
something. Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
wow.
I don't know, man. But yeah,
That's
it's
why we need your cartoons. That's
yes.
why we need your cartoons.
I want to
Yeah.
save the West
Oh,
with my retarded cartoons, making fun of even more
well,
retarded
either
people.
that or like or cut people with your sarcasm and your humor and get paid for it so that you have a better life.
And
That's what we
yeah,
want.
that's
And then
I
so
love
that
that idea
I
because
can laugh.
I make fun of people like compulsively. I can stop it, so I might as well get paid for it.
Well,
You know.
you're good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the joke,
Monetize the haters. Is that
as the,
that's what they
yes,
say.
as the Joker said, like if you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's right. That's right. And then if you love it, you can be great. If you're obsessed about it, you can be rich.
Yeah, that's that's the goal. I want my own private jet. Like I
Yeah. Then
I want nothing from a rich man's life except for the private jet. I really like the idea of like
yeah.
traveling the world in my own plane. You know? That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we could say instead of Canales the beautiful, we could say Canales the paid.
Yes. Or even Canales the Conqueror if I ever become like
That's right. That's right.
leader of Europe or something
Now,
like that.
if you could, I only wanted to keep you an hour. I don't want to go over because we could. I would love to talk to you again, though. I would love
Oh,
to.
yeah.
And I know your
I can go
mom's
on
like,
for hours,
"Hey,
dude.
look, yeah." Your mom's like, "Hey, let me get the groceries and
Yeah.
all that good stuff." But where can people find you? Where can they learn more about you?
I'm on Twitter,
Let me
of
know.
course, and I'm on Instagram. I have an Instagram. I have a DeviantArt account that I haven't updated
Okay.
in ages. I also have some of the
Okay.
webcomics I worked on there, both like the one that I drew for my friend Sal, as well as the ones that I drew for myself. Because after I became
Okay.
like let's say proficient in webcomics, I wanted to make my own. So I have some of them there.
Yes.
They're on Tapas. One of them is called Decimators, and it's
Okay.
basically what would happen if fucking woke activists became zombies and it became
Okay.
justified to just shoot them in the face, you know, which is something that
Yeah.
we all wonder at some point of in our
So
lives.
so good and violent.
Yes, like who doesn't like violence? Come on, as I said,
Everybody loves violence. Everybody.
I grew up on edgy British comics, bro. I grew up with Lobo and fucking underground stuff from like people who were up to their elbows in heroin. Like, of course, I would do stuff like that at some point.
Yeah, everybody loves violence and everybody loves sex. Sex
Yes.
and violence, everybody loves.
And since I'm Basque
Okay,
and I'm completely unfamiliar
and
with sex, I only do violence.
that's right, that's right. And is there anywhere else? Do you have like a YouTube or anything like that that
I have a
people could
YouTube
check into?
channel.
Or
I have a YouTube channel, but I upload mostly in Spanish. I whine about movies and comics that I don't like. Often I price things that I like, but but
oh, es,
whining sells more, so
es
that's
bueno hablamos español también.
yes. Oye, ¿dónde está el baño?
Yes. A biblioteca.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Que bueno, que bueno. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to throw all of your information down in the links because I want people to follow you. And whenever you put that comic book out with the comics, the social commentary, I want to see it. I want to buy it. I want to talk about it. I want to have you on. I want to promote, because I think it's just fantastic work and I absolutely love it. Every time I see them, they give me a laugh and I'm like, oh, I got to retweet this. Oh, I gotta retweet this, and
That's
so
that's what
much
I
so
strive.
that I said,
That's what I strive towards. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
yeah. So well, it was so good that I said I have to talk to this man. I didn't know very much about you, and so I did a little research, and I'm like, oh, he's a kickboxer too. I gotta talk to this guy. So it was fantastic, and it was great to talk with you. And thank you for coming on.
Die this way.